bold.
Hi, I'm portraying Hannah Ells, wife number 27, and the reason why I felt very strongly that we needed to do this was because the Mormons need to know about their real history, and we want them to know that we don't want them to follow a man who has fruits such as what we're about to portray. We want them to follow Jesus.
Hi, my name is Bethany and I'm portraying Sylvia Lyon, and the reason I'm doing this is because I want the Mormon people to come to the truth of the Savior, Jesus Christ, and in order to do that, we want them to see the truth of the history so that they can make the right decision. We respect their agency, as I would say.
Preach the good news to the world. We will not fear, and nothing can hinder us from what we've been called. We're always ready to make a defense, even unto death. Oh, we're not ashamed of the gospel. It's the power of God unto salvation to the Gentiles and the Jews of the world, to all who believe. We have not hidden your deliverance within our hearts, nor restrained our lips, but proclaimed all that you've done for us, confessed you before everyone from the religion.
Do you guys have anything better to do with your time, really?
Well, let the people know what Joseph Smith was like.
Read about it.
Oh, we have. I've done the research, and 10 wives were married to living
You know
husbands.
what? That's okay, because if he was taking care of them, that's a good thing.
Oh, really?
A lot of their
10 who had
husbands
living husbands?
Yeah,
Then
you
they
know
have
what?
husbands to take care of them?
I'm okay with, no, not if they died. Not if they
They
died.
didn't die. They were living.
You know what,
It's proven.
You need to pray.
Oh, I have prayed.
You need to pray.
I have.
You tell the lightning where to go. You formed the earth, laid its cornerstone, and you walk the depths of the oceans and seas, and as high as the heavens are above the earth, and as high as the heavens. How immeasurable is your love, how unsearchable are your riches, that you offer to us your only Son. With immeasurable love, you love me. When I look at the works of your hands, what makes you so mindful of a man? While I was a sinner, Christ died for me.
Though my sins were as crimson, now I'm whiter than snow. Though my sins were as crimson, now like wool. How immeasurable is your love, how unsearchable are your riches, that you offer to us your only Son, with immeasurable love.
You are able to do far more
is Eliza Maria Partridge. I was 20 when I lived in Nauvoo in Joseph Smith's house. I was a maid along with my sister Emily, who is 18. Joseph went to Emily first and told her that he had received a word from the Lord saying that he should have plural wives. She wasn't very comfortable with it, but she figured that if God had said it, then she ought to do it. He married her, and then 2 days later he married me. Neither of us knew about the other's marriage, and we both were living in Joseph Smith's house at the time. Now, while this was all happening, Emma was out of town, Joseph's first wife, and she came back into town, and she had still not given Joseph permission to marry any of us. She only knew ultimately about 4 of his wives, and she finally gave him permission to marry some women, but she asked if she could choose, and she ended up choosing us, but she didn't know that we were already sealed to him from a previous ceremony. So instead of telling her the truth, Joseph performed another sealing ceremony in front of Emma so that she would know that we were sealed for time and eternity. So because we were sealed for time and eternity, both of us consummated that marriage, and Joseph moved on to Carthage after that, and he left us behind. I remarried, and that was the end of my time with Joseph.
You ready?
I'm Elvira, and I'm the 28th wife of Joseph Smith. I married Joseph after I was already married for 6 months to my earthly husband, Jonathan. And I was the maid, first of all, for Joseph Smith for 2 years. And then after I was married to Jonathan for 6 months, Joseph asked me to secretly marry him. So I married him, and I was told not to tell my husband. When Joseph Smith died in 1844, 2 years later in 1846, I was sealed to Joseph Smith, and my earthly husband Jonathan stood in as the proxy for Joseph Smith. And it broke his heart that he would not be with me for eternity, that I would be with Joseph, but he was willing to make that sacrifice that my children and I could be in eternity with Joseph Smith. My father was also in the state presidency, and he was against polygamy. He worked on the Nauvoo Expositor, which was supposed to put out a newspaper that the Mormons destroyed the printing press because William Law was going to expose polygamy. And so my father resigned from the Mormon Church because of polygamy.